Hello there and welcome to another Commodore 64 playthrough. And today we're going to play through the absolutely superb game called Ricochet. So what is Ricochet? Well, it's a bat, brick and ball game like Breakout, Arkanoid, those type of games. But also, if you think about the history of these games, the first ever game like this was Pong, which came out in the sort of 70s. So it's a very simple concept, but it's a really cool game, and it's cool for a couple of reasons, really. First of all, it has an absolutely fantastic sense of humour, absolutely hilarious. I mean, some of the jokes it tells and some of the concepts just funny. I'm playing the disc version, so I didn't get a chance to show it, but the tape version had like a running. As you loaded the game, it had this running sort of script, and it was just so funny. Some of the things it said was hilarious about the designers and the developers, and making lots of jokes. Um, I've got this on Infinite Lives, by the way, just because I'm not a good enough gamer to talk and play at the same time, so this gives me a chance. I mean, the other thing the game brings as well is a lot of add-ons that you get. So if you hit one of the coloured boxes, the big boxes, you get these little balls that fly down, and the more balls you collect, I think it's 5 of each color, you then get an add-on, and that's what the gravy thing is at the top. It's one for each color, so green and red and so on. The add-ons are great. One of them's a laser, one of them's what they call mango bat, which makes the bat sticky so you can control the ball. Another one is what I think it's called Angry Yag, where it's this big this face appears in the middle of the screen and fires balls everywhere to help you complete a level. It's just an absolutely hilarious game. Also, after each level you get like a cut screen, and it's almost like a Space Invaders type setup where you have to I knew I was going to lose that, where you have to use your bat to basically kill monsters, bash into monsters. I don't think it achieves anything other than gives you some extra score. So yes, I'm just playing through this as well. I mean, in tradition of Breakout, it does get faster as you spend more time in the level. It's just such a funny game. Also, on the some of the screens have diamonds, which are either impossible to shoot or impossible to destroy. Sorry, or they give you power ups. And if I just press the space bar, I can show you these are the different power ups. You can get spare lives, hyper warps, etc. So they're quite cool little things. So yeah, so I mean, it is a very difficult game. No means about it. Also, I'm not sure my setup is 100% right because I'm getting a little bit of lag between using the joystick and what I'm seeing on the screen. But that could just be the game, or it could just be because I'm rubbish. Probably the latter, to be honest. But yeah, it's a seriously funny game. I mean, on the home screen, you can define your keys if you're using the keyboard, and instead of having an option for fire, they call it murder. And just little things like that are just hilarious. So I really want to get the white ones, because the white ones is a laser, which obviously then makes completing the level a lot easier. I'm also assuming it's going to speed up in a little bit. So there you go. So yeah, the history of these games go back to the history of computing, basically. The idea of having a bat on the screen, and you had a little paddle. So you didn't have a joystick, you had a paddle, which basically had a controller on it where you twisted it left or right to go left or right on the screen. This was games up until the sort of the invention of things like the VIC-20 and the Atari 2600, those type of things, where you actually got more sort of games with more sort of colors and everything. So yeah, so I'm just looking to try and finish off this level. I don't know what the cheat is for hyperspace for going up the different levels. So as you can see, the little gravy counter at the top, it gets progressively lighter as you get more of the options. V for Violet. I can't remember what that one was. Let's see. Right. Nicely done, my son. See, it's just hilarious. So I'm going to get loads of these helicopter little sprite things, and they're going to come across, and I'm going to use my little baddies bash killers killed. So yeah, so here we are with the next level. So those diamonds, if you hit them, you'll get a bonus. So okay. Oops. Good at this, aren't I? And of course it said skull-headed bad star. That's a bit naughty, isn't it? I'm trying to actually send it up. I'm trying to send it up so it gets stuck in the skull, because if I can do that, then it means I can just enjoy and capture some of these bonuses. Yeah, I really am struggling with controlling this controller. I don't remember it being this difficult on the on the original 64 with hardware. Oh, you'll notice that the skull's nose, if you like, is black, and that's something that can't be destroyed without the laser. So I might get the laser now, actually. So I've got the laser now, so I can shoot things. Oh, but it's gone faster. Oh, no. I knew that was going to happen. Jism gum? That's not very family friendly, is it? You couldn't do this now, could you? Oh, dearie me. Oh, weren't the 80s great? Yeah. Oh, dear. I lost many a Sunday playing this, because Sundays were always my gaming time. I just used to hole up on a Sunday afternoon, Sunday lunch, and then upstairs and on the 64 or the 16, depending on what was available, because I had the 16 and my brother had a 64, and so it would be a case of negotiating who got to play on what, or depending on what people were doing. But this was definitely one of my favorite games. It's just absolutely hilarious the way that it goes through everything. So I'm going to try and see if we hit a diamond, because as I say, they give you the power ups if I can capture them. That's the other thing. As you've seen, my skills aren't sort of brilliant at this. I never got as far as completing the game. I didn't have action replay or anything like that, so I couldn't save my game. So it pretty much was, if you lost your lives, that's it. You'd have to start from the beginning. But there are worse games out there. And again, this came on a compilation tape. I wasn't specifically after this game; it was just on it, and I just seem to remember enjoying playing this game to death. So I want to try and get it at an angle. Yeah, because like most of these games, if you can get your ball on the side of the paddle rather than straight in the middle, it will go off at an angle, which is what I really could do with, so that it'll do that. But then again, as you've seen with my game playing, that's asking asking a lot. Oh dear. So I hit that black one, so it didn't destroy it. I can't remember if you have to destroy it or if you just leave the black ones, it's okay. Let's try to see if I can get it to go at an angle. Oh, come on. Go at an angle. Hey. Oh. Extra life, which is really handy seeing as I'm playing it on on a cheat. Oh, dearie me. Oh, and another extra life. Fantastic. I don't really want an extra life. I want well, I'm one more white thing off getting a laser, so if I can get that one of those 3 big blocks there, then I'll be fine. I could have swore that hit the side of it. Let's try that again. Oops. Yeah, I was never a big fan of the other games like this, because they're all a bit sort of, it's pretty dull doing this. I mean, as you can tell, and if it wasn't for the fact I was after the power up. Oh, and I lost it straight away. Oh, that is an absolute disaster. Oh, dearie me. Oh, hang my head in shame. How I'm going to get that one in the middle of the nose, I do not know. Absolutely shocking. Oh, dear. So yeah, so Ricochet, I cannot recommend this game high enough, especially if you just want to laugh. A lot of games these days are very serious, and it's all about completing levels and you've got a big plot behind them, and it's almost like a mini movie and all these sort of things. And this is just an absolute screaming laugh. I'm going to see if I can get that bit in the middle. I have a feeling I'm really going to struggle getting that, and I could have done with the laser to actually shoot them. Maybe I should have done some practice before I actually did this. Oh, so close before I actually did this playthrough, because then that would have been a bit better for to show you some of the things. But then again, if I showed you all the different levels, I'd be spoiling it for you, wouldn't I? Really? So yeah, the in-between screen. It's just got so much So much wit and humour behind this game. And I suppose that's what you had to do, because if you were limited to actual what you could show on a screen, you know, in terms of colours or fonts or graphics or whatever, you know, you had to sort of do what you can with what you've got. I seem to remember the text adventures you sort of played with this. You know, they were similar. They would just inject a bit of humour and you know, show you different things. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to be getting across this. And now it's getting faster, which is probably good for you guys, not so good for me, because I'm rubbish at getting this. I need to go up and down, not left and right. Oh, rubbish. I'm going to try one more, and then if we don't get it this time, I shall sign off. Promises, eh? Oh dear, rubbish. Well, that's Ricochet. Brilliant little game. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. And oh, did it? Oh, nicely done, my son. Oh well, I might as well stop around to the next one. Happy as a sandboy. What does that mean? I've got these screw things, yeah, and you're okay. Oh, and there we go. No, yeah. So I got 11 bonus points. So what's this one? Go for it. Okay. So the green one is Grease Lightning, if I remember rightly. And you get loads of this stuff, lines that appear on the screen, a bit like the old BBC micros used to do when they're sort of, you know, showing off. The complete opposite for me. It's such a sarcastic game as well. Yuppie's Delight. I mean, what does that even mean? Is it a reference to drugs? I don't know. I really don't know. You know, maybe somebody can tell me, because I was a very naive young boy growing up, you know, with all these sort of things. You know, I lived in a suburb. You know, we didn't have any excitement really. Let's see if I can get the Grease Lightning. Ah, so close. Oh, go on. Ah, good. Actually, I might be able to grab it now. Can I grab it now? Oh, nearly. Yes, the Yuppies. For those who don't know, Yuppies was the name for the sort of the upcoming upstarts, if you like, from the 80s. So they were usually young businessmen with loads of money, drove fast cars, and it was mainly the sort of the growing sort of financial districts that started in Thatcher's Britain in the early 80s. So they were known for, you know, being very obnoxious and flashing their money around, and they wore shirts and braces, and yeah, it was the big sort of one of the big cultural things of the early 80s was the Yuppies. I don't try and think of a sort of equivalent now, really. I don't think so. They were known for being just as much of being obnoxious as anything else. If you've ever watched Ashes to Ashes, there's an absolutely hilarious episode where there's it's set in the sort of what was to become the financial district, and yeah, and as you can see, the Grease Lightning does absolutely nothing apart from look pretty, and you know, he drives a DeLorean and has red braces, and it's just all the cliches of Yuppies. So that's what it meant. Anyway, I've witted on enough. Thank you very much. I really am going this time. So if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. Any questions, leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.